Imagine a landscape of absolute silence across sun-bleached limestone. You are standing on a low hill in what is now central Portugal. Beneath your feet, the earth is saturated with thousands of razor-sharp flint and copper arrowheads. They are not neatly buried in graves. They are scattered in the dirt, lodged in the charred remains of ancient gates. This is not a place of peace. It is a monument to a level of violence so extreme that it forced a prehistoric people to invent a defensive technology that the rest of the world would not rediscover for another 4,000 years. 5,000 years ago, the Iberian Peninsula was the site of a profound transformation. This was the Copper Age, a time when human society was moving from small, egalitarian villages towards something far more complex and far more dangerous. It was a world of firsts, the first large-scale mining, the first complex metallurgy, and the first true fortifications. But something else was happening, something written into the DNA of the people who lived here. Between 4,500 and 4,000 years ago, the genetic map of Iberia was rewritten. In one of the largest and most rapid population shifts ever recorded, nearly 40% of the total ancestry and almost 100% of the male lineages were replaced. This was not a slow migration. It was a total turnover, coinciding with a period of unprecedented strife. In the center of this chaos stood the Castro of Vila Nova de São Pedro. To a modern eye, the ruins of this site look strangely familiar. While other civilizations were building simple circular walls, the people of Vila Nova de São Pedro constructed a fortress with projecting semicircular bastions. From above, the layout begins to resemble a star. This is a design known to military historians as a star fort, or the Tres Italian. It is a sophisticated system designed to eliminate dead zones at the base of a wall, allowing defenders to rain arrows down upon the flanks of any attacker. But there is a problem with this history. The star fort is supposed to be a product of the 16th century, designed to withstand the power of gunpowder and cannons. Yet here, in the Portuguese countryside, we find the exact same principles of defensive geometry being used 4,700 years ago. The engineering of Vila Nova de São Pedro was a desperate response to a desperate time. The central fortification was encircled by massive stone walls, some over 5 meters thick, covered in a layer of white clay that would have made them shimmer in the sun, and nearly impossible to scale. The bastions were not decorative, they were killing zones. Archaeologists have recovered more than 3,000 arrowheads from the site, many of them the distinctive palmella type, designed for maximum penetration. The sheer volume of these weapons suggests that the fort was not just a symbol of power, but a functional machine of war that was repeatedly put to the test. The archaeological record shows at least 4 distinct phases of occupation, each ending in a layer of ash and destruction. The people who built this fort were not just builders, they were survivors of a war that was systematic, prolonged, and ultimately world-changing. The Castro of Vila Nova de São Pedro eventually fell into ruin, its revolutionary design forgotten as the Bronze Age collapsed into the Iron Age. The star fort would vanish from the human architectural vocabulary for millennia, only to be reinvented when the violence of the modern world reached a similar fever pitch. Today, the site is a quiet collection of stones, but it remains a haunting reminder of the lengths to which humanity will go when pushed to the brink. It reveals a truth about our species that is as old as the stones themselves, that our greatest leaps in ingenuity are often born not from a desire to create, but from a desperate, all-consuming need to survive. The walls of Vila Nova de São Pedro were built to protect a world that was already ending, leaving behind only the arrowheads and a silent star-shaped warning from the deep past.